emphasize before I start, the data I'm going to be presenting is not a pharmacoeconomical analysis. Reason being, there are different methods used in pharmacoeconomics: cost efficiency, cost effectiveness, cost benefit analysis. However, the format of the data we have does not allow for such full analysis, so therefore we wanted to make the best use of the data available. So we carried out analysis based on the number of boxes, and with this kind of consumption actually there's non-pharmacoeconomic analysis. We're going to be changing the heading, just a technical detail. But I think it will give you a good idea, because it was talked about just now in Turkey. When we look at the Social Security Institute data, in 2006, the use of antidepressant drugs registered a significant increase. The data I'm going to be presenting here is a detailed analysis of 2006 data. The reason I cannot do anything more is because I'm constrained for time. Now, in 2006, when we review the data, we consider the records we have, and based on Social Security Institute data, the most prescribed antidepressants we have identified, those that you see are the first quarter of 2006. Here, all prescribed antidepressants, these medications, and you see how much they account for. There are almost 35 antidepressants, but I included the top 5 here with regard to prescribing behavior. The top 5 prescribed medications account for 39% of the total medications prescribed. And you see the ranking here. I have to explain here, of course, that, as you know, these medications, they have different forms on the market, different dosages, different pharmaceutical formats, and we have tablets, of course, mostly, but there may be some differences in weight in grams. This analysis is a bit different from the information previously given on antidepressants. Whatever is available, for instance, Laroxil, we brought together all the boxes of Laroxil, and that's how we arrived at those figures. I'd like to indicate that. Now, same data, this time with regard to Turkish lira. When we convert them to Turkish lira, the ratios change a bit, as you can see. When you look at it from the cost perspective, Cipralex ranks number 1. To illustrate with an example, Cipralex ranked 4th in the previous list. There is a difference between box prescription and cost. What's interesting here is, again, I took the top 5 for the first quarter. It accounts for 54% of the total cost, the money reimbursed for these 5 medications. When we look at April, May, the medications are same, give or take a few, but when we look at it by box, the first 5 medications account for 44.5 of the total, and the rankings are very similar. By box, usually these 5 medications are always in the foreground in the rankings. When we look at cost, FX substances accounts for 17.1% of the cost. From time to time, there may be some differences in this ranking. In general, the medicines are firmly established in the market. It has been talked about just now. One of the important shortcomings is that's because of the registration recording system, of course. The indications are not given, so we don't know for what indications those medications were prescribed, but we just know that these medications have been prescribed. Again, the rate among the total number of boxes, the rate among the total, it's 60.8%. This is cost, of course. By box, it accounts for 45%, those 5 medications, and in reimbursement, they account for 60.8%.
Alttan bir bakmam lazım.
Allah'tan dinleyen yok ama burası kaydediyor değil mi? Ha? O zaman devam ediyorum. These are very similar to one another when you look at it. From time to time, we see Laroxil and Lostral change places, but usually this first top 5 do not change by box. Again, this is the cost ratio. Again, throughout July, September, 5 medications account for 42.4% by box. By reimbursement, they account for 63.9%. Again, the same 5 medications. And in October, December, we have a similar profile. It continues throughout the year 2006. We can observe the same trend here as well. And here you see, with regard to, this is ranking by cost, as can be expected. Ranking by cost is a bit different by ranking by box, but again, it's possible to say that throughout the year 2006, when you review by quarter the medications that account for the top 5 with regard to the quantity of reimbursement, in fact, they account for 2/3 of all medications, and that's one of the important points. Now, we see the number of boxes. Of course, I have to say here, one of our biggest problems was to come up with the prices of boxes. When you go to the web page of pharmaceuticals, you'll see in 2005-2006 medication price lists were published a couple of times. So therefore, when coming up with a cost, we had to take note of these lists as well, which was really one of the challenges of this for us, because the prices of some medications changed frequently and some did not change that frequently. Now, throughout the year 2006, the number of boxes prescribed, close to 7 million approximately. Something that strikes the eye here is when you look at those quarterly periods, the number of antidepressants prescribed is the lowest in the first quarter, but it increases as you go along, and October-December period is the highest. And these are the percentages, as you can see, starting with 23.4%. Then by October-December, there is a significant increase in this ratio. When we look at it quantity-wise, here it is. Here we see the ratios. When you look at the total medications prescribed throughout the year with regard to cost, 1/3 of them have been prescribed throughout October, December. Yes, this is all I'm going to say. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Zafer.